Well, hi, everybody. It's Reverend Tim Kutzmark here at the Unitarian Universalist Church of Fresno. I'm going to need for you to pretend with me that it is Easter morning. As many of you know, we did a parking lot service, and although it went over wonderfully well in the parking lot live on our Alluvial Ave campus, we had a lot of technical difficulties, and many parts of the service were really broken up, and the music kind of chopped up, and I know that a lot of people just jumped ship and abandoned the service. The sermon is actually in its entirety if you went on to the video from that live stream. But we thought that it would be nice to make the sermon itself a little easy to access, in part because in these complicated times, to have a sermon about hope and uplift and joy and renewal seems like a lot of us could at some point enjoy those words, need those words, and find solace from those words. So with that rambling preamble, I offer you my Easter sermon from Sunday, April 17th, 2022, and it's called Rise Up, O My Joy. Rise up, oh my joy. Have you ever heard about little Bobby Bradley? First, we have to turn back the clock 11 years to the spring of 2011. Little Bobby is 9 years old. He lives in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and he finds great joy through riding in hot air balloons. He loves the beautiful dark crispness of a pre-dawn morning as he and his father unload and unfold the balloon on some desolate patch of New Mexico desert. He loves the sound of the gas jets heating the cold air inside the balloon. Bobby loves watching that almost translucent multicolored balloon light up from the inside, illuminated by the fire burning within, like a nylon stained glass window. He loves how that balloon slowly starts to inflate, to come to life, till it reaches upward, ready but still tethered to the ground. 9-year-old Bobby loves it as his father hoists him into the balloon's basket, and the two of them just stand there, grinning at each other in joyful anticipation. Bobby loves that almost mystical moment of liftoff, rising up into the sky. Bobby loves the silence that unfolds him as he and his father float high above the earth, floating eastward over the desert toward the sun that will soon rise to greet them. 11 years ago, in late spring of 2011, on a morning just like this one, little Bobby Bradley, 9 years old, became the youngest trained pilot to fly solo in an ultralight hot air balloon. His parents were and are well-known balloonists. His father took his first solo flight when he himself was only 14. As Bobby said at the time, "I've been flying since I was 4, so I've had a lot of time to train, and I've always wanted to go solo." And so, up and away went Bobby in his beautiful balloon. That's what this morning is all about. That's what Easter is all about. Easter is when something good unexpectedly rises up when and where you might least expect it. It's been a hard winter for many of us. Lots of losses, illness, pain, uncertainty, and overwhelm. A sense of helplessness for many of us. It's been a hard winter. Anxiety, depression, discouragement, death, and deep, deep sadness. It's been a hard winter. Economic uncertainty, rising prices, political discord, the cruel dismembering of Roe v. Wade, and a war ripping apart Ukraine before our very eyes. But now it is spring. Your spring. Our spring. Without denying those hard realities, I am here to testify that something good unexpectedly wants to rise up in our heart or soul. Poet David White writes, "Inside everyone is a great shout of joy waiting to be born. Dentro de todos es un gran grito de alegría esperando a nacer." Inside everyone is a great shout of joy waiting to be born. Now, some of us may say, "Imposible! Nope, no, nunca, not me, not now, not ever. Inside me there is only wailing and lament, despair or weariness. There is no great shout of joy waiting within me." Dear ones, the myth of Easter tells us otherwise. Easter tells us that joy and life can rise up again, even in a cold, lonely martyr's tomb in ancient Palestine. Easter tells us that joy and life can rise up again, even in our beating, broken, beautiful hearts. Poet Mary Oliver writes, "If you suddenly and unexpectedly feel joy, don't hesitate. Give into it. There are plenty of lives and whole towns destroyed or about to be. Still, life has possibility left. Perhaps this is its way of fighting back, that sometimes something happens better than all the riches or power in the world. Anyway, that's often the case. Anyway, whatever it is, don't be afraid of its plenty. Joy was not made to be a crumb. Joy is not made to be a crumb. But what if, in the present reality of our life, it's all we can do to find and hold even a crumb of joy? When I was a little kid, my mom always baked a cinnamon crumb cake each Easter morning. I woke up to this scrumptious smell rising up from the oven into my second floor bedroom. I knew it was going to be a fabulous Easter. I was remembering that this morning as I thought about you, about us, about our one congregation in many places gathering together on this post-Passover Easter morning. You know, our resilient, life-affirming Unitarian Universalist congregation is like a cinnamon crumb cake. I bring my crumb of joy, you bring your crumb of joy, someone else brings their crumb of joy, someone else their crumb of joy, over and over and over, until we have not a crumb of joy, but something so much larger. Together, we become a great shout of joy waiting to be born. According to the Gospel of Matthew in the Christian scriptures, Jesus isn't the only person who rose from deadness that first Easter. As Unitarian Universalist author Sarah York points out, the Gospel of Matthew tells us that a whole lot of people got a lift that first Easter weekend. Sarah York quotes the Gospel of Matthew. When Jesus died, the earth shook and coughed up corpses all over, and many who had fallen asleep were raised. After the resurrection of Jesus, these people, once dead, showed up in Jerusalem. This was a resurrection of many souls, not from death, but from deadness. Sarah York continues, "What do I mean by deadness? I mean the things inside that kept most of Jesus' followers hiding away from Jesus' funeral. Fear, cowardice, lack of conviction and purpose. What do I mean by deadness? I mean those same things in our own lives that prevent us from feeling alive. Things like fear, cowardice, and lack of conviction and purpose. And things like loneliness, pain, anger, grief, and boredom that numb us to life. It's as if we let parts of ourselves die and stuff them away in a tomb of the soul. Sometimes that tomb is not such a bad place. It's like a womb, safe and secure, comfortable and predictable. Our tomb life may be nothing more than the safety and comfort of nice, predictable routine. Or it may be shelter from the world and its problems, a place to hide from the Jesus who called for a world where people care for one another. Whether it is escape or comfort, the time comes for us to roll away the stone. The Reverend Victoria Safford, a Unitarian Universalist minister, writes, "We don't know and never will entirely where our own strength comes from. But we have felt, perhaps when we least expected it, to feel anything at all, we have felt our own blood stir in the vein like maple sap, and something very small and tight begins to swell and open up, urgent, imperceptible at first, then undeniable. That's how life rises up. That's how love lives again. A great, mysterious, and undeniable love lives again within us, within this church community, within the living tradition of Unitarian Universalism, within the harrowing heartbreak and sweeping grandeur of the world, within untapped possibility of humankind, within the enduring embrace of the source of wonder, mystery, and joy that some of us call God. 11 years ago, little Bobby Bradley let his great shout of joy rise up as he flew his hot air balloon solo into the beckoning sky. May we be so bold and so brave. May we rise up. May we rise up with that great shout of joy, that great lift of life, that great renewal of spirit, that infinite and awesome power we call love. Que así sea. Bendito sea. May it be so. Blessed be. Amen.